Call to order. It's a graphic.
Mike Davenport,
I am here.
Christopher Espinoza,
Here.
Sherelle Fuller,
Here.
Jenny Hagstrom,
Here.
Terry Pavicic,
Here.
Joanna Vasquez Drexler,
I'm here too.
Nancy Kupka,
Here.
Scarlett O'Hara,
Here.
and Jade Toledano.
Here.
Thank you.
Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oops, I'm sorry, am I getting you?
Good evening. We're going to deviate a little bit from our usual agenda. We're going to start out because we have some important recognitions tonight.
All right, we have several individuals that have received awards recently, in the district as a whole received one as well. First, I'd like to recognize, even though he doesn't want me to, I'm going to recognize South High Principal Ed Schwartz for receiving the Illinois Directors of Student Activities Principals Recognition Award for the 21-22 school year. This award recognizes amazing, dynamic, creative leaders who play an active role in promoting the culture and climate of their school community, and who participate, support, and are committed to student activities. Ed is obviously a steadfast supporter of students, very deserving of this recognition, is the only principal I have ever seen that can manage an entire student section at a football game by himself. And that's evidence of his connection that he has with students. So congratulations, Ed. Every year, the next awards are the INSPRA Distinguished Service Awards. Every year, the Illinois chapter of the National School Public Relations Association recognizes those in the school community who support and improve communication in schools across the state. This increases support for public education overall. Communication professionals nationwide review and judge these nominations. District 99 is proud that INSPRA has recognized 5 members of our District 99 community, and all 5 have received awards of excellence, the highest level of distinction. We'll be recognizing 4 of these recipients tonight. The first 2 are Jade and Scarlett, our District 99 Student Board of Education members. They received an award of excellence in the teen category. Both of them have been engaged, respectful, and brave during the time that they've served on the board. When they speak, the adults listen carefully. Jade and Scarlett have done a tremendous job in providing a voice for their fellow students, and the community has gained insight into what students want and need most of all, which is to be heard. So thank you both. So they're sending us a second one, so you two will have to arm wrestle over this one.
You know what? I think they want to take your picture, so you might.
Pictures of the students. We'll do pictures at the end here.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of pictures
We
to
got a lot of pictures to take.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. The next one is Terry Pavicic, who has also received an award of excellence in the Board of Education member category. Terry is passionate about students and cares deeply for her Downers Grove community. She shows her support by attending events and volunteering throughout the year. Terry also has championed installing a garden at the T99 Center and serves on the District 99 Education Foundation. We share our deep gratitude for Terry's selfless and dedicated service for 20 years.
Thank you. Thank you.
And our final INSPRA Award winner is Principal Ed Schwartz. He also received an Award of Excellence in the Administrator category. Ed's a strong, welcoming leader who excels in interpersonal relationships. Ed realized that in order to develop relationships more broadly across the community, he needed to adjust his communication strategies, and he began issuing monthly video messages and has created nearly 60 of them since becoming principal in 2014. His efforts have created a more positive and connected school culture and community, and as Ed retires, he will be greatly missed.
We're here.
I'm done with the individual
Okay.
awards.
I have the honor of the next recognition, and that is from the Illinois Association of School Administrators DuPage Region, our own Superintendent of Distinction, Hank Thiele. Hank was honored at an awards luncheon in Springfield, where State Superintendent Dr. Carmen Ayala was the featured speaker. The IASA Executive Director, Dr. Brent Clark, said, and I quote, "Superintendents across Illinois navigated immense challenges this school year, so it really is an honor to stand out and be recognized by your peers for outstanding leadership and elevating student success." Congratulations, Dr. Thiele.
All right, and then our final award is for the entire district. District 99 has been named one of 5 school districts nationwide as a green ribbon school by the U.S. Department of Education. The recognition honors District 99 for its innovative efforts to reduce environmental impact and utility costs, as well as to improve health and wellness and ensure sustainability around education. This national recognition is due to the hard work and commitment of our people across the entire district. We've been practicing energy conservation for many, many years, and it's an incredible honor to be recognized at this national level. Especially a huge thanks to Jim Colleget and Kristen Kacharski from our facility teams for pursuing this prestigious designation. And especially to all of those in our academic departments who play a key role in delivering environmental and sustainability education every single day. So a big round of applause for all of those across the district that make this a green school district. All right, that's it for recognitions.
Well, it's going to be hard to follow that, but follow it we must. So we need a motion for the Board of Education to approve the minutes of the April 18th, 2022 business meeting, the May 2nd, 2022 workshop meeting with action item, and the May 4th, 2022 Parent-Teacher Advisory Committee meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Joanne and Mike.
Thank you. Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
Sherelle Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye. The minutes are approved. Next, we'll move on to the first reception of visitors. The meeting agenda includes 2 opportunities from comments from the audience. The first reception of visitors is intended for audience members to address the board about any agenda item on which the board will vote. The second reception of visitors is intended for audience members to address the board on any topic pertaining to Community High School District 99. Comments are limited to 3 minutes to provide all visitors an equal opportunity to address the board. Individuals needing more time should submit their thoughts in writing to the board secretary, Mrs. Nidak. Visitors addressing the board need to submit a comment slip to the board secretary and will be invited to the microphone by Dr. Thiele. Prior to addressing the board audience, members should state their full name. These proceedings are being tape recorded and are being streamed live, and we are also tape recording for the purpose of producing accurate meeting minutes. I reserve the right to modify these protocols if circumstances warrant, and audience observation of these protocols is appreciated. Thank you.
We have no comment slips for the first reception of visitors.
Okay. Then we'll move on to recommendations and reports of the superintendent.
All right, the first thing on the agenda is first recognizing Jaden Scarlett, once again, for all of your wonderful work over the last year. This has definitely been a different year for school board members, but what the public doesn't, I mean, they've seen you bravely sit up here and represent your peers for the last year, but what they haven't seen is the work you've done behind the scenes to leave a legacy of student board members' participation, expectations, just kind of how it works, and the very direct and outward participation you've had with your peers over the whole year so that you could represent them accurately. So I, for one, as the superintendent, appreciate all of your hard work and perspective this year. It has been a difficult year to be a leader, but I appreciate all that you have done. And we have a small little token of thanks.
So I think the board echoes Dr. Thiele's sentiments, and we wish you both well in your future endeavors. I don't think anybody has a doubt in their heart that you both will not just exceed at whatever you choose to do.
Thank you.
So thank you for all of your hard work. Know that we are so appreciative to you and just wish you only the best in life.
Yeah.
You're here.
All right, at this point, Ed and Courtney will come forward and introduce our two new student board members.
Before we do that, I want to piggyback on some comments about Jade and Scarlett, because as someone who's been here for all of our student board reps since we began, this is the first time the two of them have worked so closely together. Together, they developed a website as a form of communication with the students in both campuses and had constant back and forth communication with students, so they were truly representing their student body. So I just want to kudos to them, and most people don't know about that. The students do, but the general public doesn't. So great job in taking everything to the next level.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And now to introduce our newest board member reps, Miss Lip, my replacement at South High, and I spent a morning together interviewing the 7, 8 candidates. We had more applicants this year than the last 2 years combined. Wow. So I think Jade and Scarlett's representation also put the word out there a little bit more that this was a role to be had. So I'm excited to introduce Caitlin Vincent, class of 2023, who will represent South High next year. And I'm going to let Caitlin go for a few seconds, tell you about some of the things she's involved in, and a little bit about herself.
Hello, I'm Caitlin Vincent. Some of the things I'm involved in at South are different service clubs like NHS, Key Club, as well as a South High special club called Life of a Mustang, where we really work in to build more school spirit throughout the school. I'm also a member of the varsity girls basketball team, and I'm excited to work with you all in the future. Thank you.
And I would also like to echo what Ed said. Thank you to both Jade and Scarlett. You've brought a lot of awesome things to our buildings and to make sure that students are represented and represented well. And I really appreciate the fact that, Jade, you have personally made it a point to talk to me and include a lot of different perspectives in our conversations. So thank you very much, and I wish you good luck for next year to both of you.
Thank you, thank you.
I would like to introduce Luca Palauskas. She is going to be our board rep for the 22-23 school year. So I'll have Luca come on up, introduce herself, and talk a little bit about what she does at North High.
Hello, so my name is Luca Palauskas, and
We'll applaud at the end.
so a few things that I am a part of is National Honor Society, French Honor Society, and I am also on varsity track and field for the last 3 years, and I'm looking forward to doing it for another year, and I'm very excited to be a part of this great group.
Awesome. Welcome. All right. Welcome both. All right. Strategic plan. Let's see. This was discussed at length at the last meeting. Between the last meeting and this one, we've gotten a variety of feedback that I've shared with the board, a couple of small tweaks along the way. So this document is presented in board docs and has both the structure and components as well as kind of the document that will be building in all of our tasks, goals, and outcomes for next school year. If there are any questions, I'll take them now. If not, this is an action item later on this evening. All right. Oh, and let the record show, Dr. Kupka has been asking for one of those since I walked through the door, so we can check that one off the list after tonight, hopefully.
Well, for what?
Strategic plan.
Strategic plan.
Oh. There's so many things I've asked for.
I know. All right, in board docs is the recommended Board of Education meeting calendar for next year. It features a single board meeting in July. I think it falls the second week? On the 11th, the second week of July. And then everything after that follows our pretty traditional first and third, unless there's a holiday that moves it for that month. Any questions on that one? All right, thank you, Julie, for pulling all of that together. All right, I'll turn this one over to Scott. We had our Parent-Teacher Advisory Committee meeting this year, as we always do, and then Scott reports back after this meeting to the board.
Yeah, so thank you. I want to thank Jenny and Joanna for being there. We had a low turnout. We had one parent that stayed with us the whole time, and we had 2 people on the phone for a little bit. To make a comparison, a year ago, we had over 60 people with us, so we are looking to go back to in-person next year, and we hope that'll bring more people with us. But we did review the Consolidated District Plan, the PAP program, and we looked at our oversight team for special education, which is our crisis de-escalation team. So the one feedback that we did get talked about they really appreciate the district looking at the interventions to get through COVID and things like that, which kind of came out of Gina's Consolidated District Plan. So yeah, that's our update. I don't know if Joanna or Jenny have any other thoughts?
No.
I mean, the team did a great job presenting
They did.
for the one parent that was with us all the time.
That's a
The
record
parent,
low
It
turnout.
is a record low turnout.
See, Jenny is a parent in the district, so
Yeah, so we have two.
So too. So too.
Overall positive from the one parent.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they appreciated the information, that we presented, and, like I said, our team, they did a fabulous job presenting to one parent, very professional.
We appreciate that one parent.
Yeah, so,
All right. Textbook recommendations for next year. Rob?
Yeah, we have 4 textbooks recommended for next year. 1 in math for our pre-calculus, and then 3 in science for AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Environmental Science. Just a reminder, it's a really robust process that this goes through. It starts at the teacher level. It's vetted through the department chairs. They do part of a readability study, and they do comparison between different textbook options. And then that lands with Gina and our APIs, who then look at all of that information and then ultimately decide on whether that's something that they want to recommend going forward. So these 4 made it through the gauntlet, and that's what we're recommending for today.
All right, any questions for Rob?
And those are available for people if they want to review them?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Those are available for the public if they wish to review them?
Yes, all of our materials
on
are.
display.
Yep.
All right. English department novels. This has gone, don't have a slide for that one. This one, information is in the docs for this. This is an action item later on this evening. Mark and Jeree work through, mostly, I think Jeree heads up this.
Jerry and Melinda, but
Jeree
yes.
and Melinda. So you can see that's 140 different titles, 14,000 total number of books that go out for bid. And then the lowest responsible bid was in the total amount of $111,660.20. And this is up for action later on this evening. This is the same process we followed for several years now. So any questions on that one? All right. The next one was discussed with the board in closed session last month. As the board is aware, our attendance at T99 continues to grow, which is a wonderful challenge to be presented to us. We used some of the interest income from the master facility plan bond sales to expand existing space inside of T99 last summer. However, we still have enrollment growing. We're out of space inside of that building. And we are also, can't bring any more staff on because we have nowhere for them to park. Omega across Vernard has graciously for years allowed our staff to park there. But we need to expand, and we need to expand parking in order to have enough spaces there to have staff show up to serve the needs of students. So Mark and Jim have been working with the neighbor to the north of the T99 property. What's the address there, Mark?
4226 Bernard.
4226 Vernard. You can see there's an action item up for this evening to enter into an agreement to acquire that property for a cost of $400,000, and then a lease agreement to allow the resident to stay, who's a North High grad,
Right.
to stay at that property until he purchases a new home, and then up to a certain date, March
Right,
of,
end of March 23.
and
That's when we would need to start construction and have a pretty safe plan of rebuilding or building.
so Mark and Jim have done a whole bunch of work on this, and I appreciate their work getting to this point. I know we discussed it with the board in closed, but are there any final questions regarding this before action this evening?
Just the other key thing is that it does require rezoning, and our contract protects us against that. If it's not approved for a change in zoning, we can rescind the deal.
So that was my one question. Have we had conversations with, any preliminary conversations with the village or the
Yes,
plan commission?
we've had preliminary, but I
and-
mean,
We've met with them
nothing
twice
can be
already.
guaranteed.
No, of course not, but nobody's throwing up any red
The
flags.
village is I think, has already reached out to Jim to start the process for that.
Okay.
So,
So
and I've had
it's
several
all been very
conversations with Dave
positive.
Fieldman, just so we know who on his team is working with our team to work through that process.
So staff isn't offering any opposition to this?
Not to this point.
No,
Well, that's
they've been very
that's
supportive.
generally the
Big
key.
thing, yeah.
So, all right.
Generally, like, process and procedures around why they can zone or not zone? Or is it just a decision based on what the village wants to have or not?
Well,
There's a whole process to go through in their zoning commission. and-
Okay.
The property we own right now is zone B3, correct?
It's, it is correct, B3,
Yeah,
right?
so-
That's what we were looking for.
So
on the
this
new
is
property.
adjacent to, so it's not like it's going to be an island in the middle of something.
That's why I was asking,
So,
because I'm thinking
yeah.
what would not allow it to be
Yeah.
zoned if it's in the same.
Yeah, if we were trying to, like, the next house down the block, we were trying to do this with, that might be an issue. So,
How is the neighbor that
Well-
wanted the property? Is he okay with us?
Not had any input, but we do have to have, and we'll have a community meeting.
mhm.
That's one of the first steps, and so we'll find out the answer to some of these concerns. In some ways, I think they'd like to see this house not be there anymore, because
Oh, it's an eyesore?
I don't want to say that publicly, but you said that, I didn't.
You said it, Terry, we did.
Hey,
But once the board takes action, then we'll go over and knock on the door and visit with the neighbors,
Sorry.
so.
I think ultimately there'll be a public hearing.
The public
to
hearing, I
discuss.
think there's 3 different meetings and
Yeah.
hearings for
Yeah.
approval.
Yep. 2 with the plan commission, 1 with the village council.
All right, any other questions? All right, up for action later on this evening. All right, FOIA requests, we've received, as we have been lately, several, and have responded to many, and have many pending.
Yeah.
They're available up on our website.
Yep.
All right, consent agenda and action items.
Okay, we're moving on to the consent agenda, but we have 2 changes to the consent agenda.
Yeah, so in the personnel report, since publishing Thursday evening, we have 2 additional hires. So you'll see in your packet that there's an updated one. Those ads are Belford Hernandez and Carrie Neuland.
Alford, awesome.
Carrie's back. Great.
very good.
Not that it's not great, Carrie's back.
Right.
And then, Mark, you had something you wanted to?
I do, I have an update on the treasure surety bonds. We put this initial memo together a couple days ago, actually on the 12th, and thinking they'd be the same form as past, but there was a different form that they looked for. Now it's a little more conservative, so we're going to be having a higher bond than what we originally had calculated. So it's up by $2 million in terms of the overall bonding that we have for all of our cash and investments.
Any questions on that? Did anybody have anything they wanted to remove from the consent agenda for additional discussion?
No.
Hearing none, we need a motion for the Board of Education to approve the consent agenda as presented, which includes the personnel report, appointments certified, the personnel report, resignations certified, retirements classified, resignations classified, the personnel report, salary and benefits wages, wage increase classified, the financial pages, the 2021-2022 final school calendar, the 2022-2023 Board of Education meeting calendar, treasury surety bonds, the discipline improvement plan, and the approval of template agreement to permit enrollment of non-district students in D99 transition program on a tuition basis.
So moved.
Second.
Mike and Terry.
Thank you. Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye, the consent agenda carries. We'll now move on to our action items. Was there anything you wanted to say more about the strategic plan?
No.
Okay. We need a motion for the Board of Education to approve the strategic plan as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Mike and Chris?
Thank you. Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye, the motion carries. Next, we need a motion for the Board of Education to approve the textbook recommendations for 2022-2023 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Terry and Chris?
Thank you. Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye, the motion carries. Next, we need a motion for the Board of Education to approve the lowest responsible bid of $111,660.20 from BookPal to provide novels for the 2022-2023 school year.
So move.
Second.
Joanna and Terry?
Thank you. Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye, motion carries. And finally, we need a motion for the Board of Education to approve the purchase of the property known as 4226 Vinard Road, Downers Grove, Illinois, and to authorize the board president, which is me, to sign the real estate purchase and sale agreement and exhibits.
So moved.
Second.
Chris and Mike? Is
Mike.
it? Okay.
Mike and Chris.
Mike was first.
Mike
correct?
was first?
Yes. Thank you. Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye, the motion carries. And thank you for all the work done on that purchase.
Yeah, yeah.
To be
It'd be
done.
great for our students.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exciting,
Absolutely.
very exciting. Okay, moving on to the second reading and approval of policies.
So these came before the board at our last meeting,
Yep.
and since then, I haven't received any questions.
Nor have I.
No.
So they are presented for the board's approval this evening.
I move the Board of Education approve the policies as presented.
Mike and Cheryl.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Jenny Hagstrom.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye.
Joanna Vasquez Drexler.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
And Nancy Kupka.
Aye, they're approved, and it was a lot of work, so thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
a lot
Lot
to
of them.
review
A
this time.
record
Yeah.
amount, but
Yeah, yeah.
when I got done, they were gone.
You
You're gonna
just
move on to
release them into the world.
Released.
Second reception of visitors, which is intended for audience members to address the board on any topic pertaining to Community High School District 99. Again, comments are limited to 3 minutes to provide all visitors an equal opportunity to address the board. Individuals needing more time should submit their thoughts in writing to the board secretary, Mrs. Nydak. Visitors addressing the board need to submit need to submit a comment slip to the board secretary and will be invited to the microphone. Prior to addressing the board, audience members should state their full name. These proceedings are being tape recorded for the purpose of producing accurate meeting minutes, and they are being streamed. The board's presiding officer, which is me, reserves the right to modify these protocols if circumstances warrant. Audience observation of these protocols is appreciated.
We have one comment slip, Noel Manley.
Good evening. My name is Noel Manley, and I'm a resident of Darien, Illinois. The United States is a country filled with systemic love and kindness. and District 99 is a community filled with systemic love and kindness. Last year, I attended a Zoom meeting hosted by our Congressman, Sean Casten, on the topic of federal housing policy. Congressman Casten invited federal housing expert and author Richard Rothstein to present. Mr. Rothstein spoke for a better part of an hour and shared many insights on education and suburban America. Specifically, he noted the following in his presentation. 1. All single-family zoning ordinances in the country must be overturned and eliminated. This will give way to allowing people and organizations to build any type of housing on any piece of land and therefore make housing equitable in the United States. 2. Good schools are not measured by academic rigor or academic excellence. The only measure of a good school is equity. If a school does not prioritize equity, in his opinion, it is not a good school. It's important to note that the good congressman did not challenge any of Mr. Rothstein's assertions or assumptions. I took the opportunity to again review the $27,000 District 99 2020 Equity Audit Report. On pages 42 and 45, the report outlines a clear and consistent pre-COVID downward trend in math and reading scores for the period 2015 through 2019 for all demographic groups. So it appears that Mr. Rossi may be correct by default. Academic excellence does not define a good school. So where's the equity dividend? This district, like so many districts around the country, have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity education, whether it's in equity consultants, equity directors, equity videos, etc. Where's the equity dividend? What is the efficacy of this investment? Absolutely nothing. We looked at the events of this past weekend. Violence in Buffalo, New York, Laguna Woods, California, and Milwaukee, not to mention what happens here in Chicago. These events occurred several weeks after the Brooklyn subway shooting and several months after the driver who ran over a dozen people at the holiday parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. And then 2 weeks after a student was attacked at Lyons Township High School. Now, District 99 is not responsible for any of these heinous acts, but this district is participating in a nationwide equity trend that does not appear to be bringing people together. So with this tremendous investment in time, effort, and taxpayer money, when can we expect an equity dividend to kick in? Thank you.
All right, those are only comments, Slip.
Okay. We'll move on to communications and announcements. Jenny, any update on Lund?
No, we have a meeting this coming Friday.
SACID, Joanna?
Nothing, we have our meeting on Wednesday.
Terry, Education Foundation?
We are meeting Wednesday, but from the last meeting, I wanted to remind you again about September 10th to put that on your calendars for, it's probably going to be a food truck rally at North, and so that should be really good. And we're working on maybe doing a battle of the bands kind of thing, which would be interesting and fun. And let's just send a message upstairs that we're going to have great weather.
Yes.
Because it is outdoors. So let's just keep
Start with this Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And anyway, there will be more to come next month.
Will there be multiple food trucks?
Yes, we're trying to determine how many, because we want to do some things by the football field, yeah, and our soccer field, whatever you want to call it.
Lacrosse
And then maybe include some of our clubs and that as maybe drink participants so that they would make a little money. And this is going to be more for the community, not a fundraiser per se. We want to just show our thanks and appreciation to our community. So it should be a really fun event. You are going to have to purchase the food from the food trucks, but that's your decision on which ones. So we're trying to also have many different price ranges so that you know, kids and adults can all get their food. So it should be fun, and especially with the music, there'll be different bands, hopefully. We're working on the details. But we just wanted to make sure that everybody puts that on their calendar for September 10th, because it will be here before we know it. And school will be started. It'll be a kickoff for school also.
We'll have quite a few celebrations over the next 2 years, since next year is our 99th year in District 99.
Yeah, yeah.
Year after that is our 100th school year, so.
So
In the
there's,
middle of that, sometime next year, we have Founder's Day, the 100th year, 100th anniversary of the founding of the district. So
yeah,
lots of momentous occasions over the next couple of years.
yes, yes. And I personally just want to say welcome to our new board members. And I know the gal from South has left already, but we welcome you, and you'll be able to participate in these things too.
Put 'em on your calendar.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Okay, Illinois Association of School Boards. Chris, anything? Nothing. Okay, with that, we have 2 more meetings. Our next meeting, June 6th, will be a workshop meeting with the action item that will be here at 6:30 in the ASC. And on June 20th, we'll have the 2022 June 20th, 2022, we'll have a business meeting at 6:30 p.m., again, here at the ASC. Do we have anything else?
There's just a small reception at the end to honor Jade and Scarlett. That's it.
And that's it. So please join us out there. And I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Terry and Sherelle, is that you? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next meeting